Hello MGTOW. Today we're gonna talk about baby formula again. Now, why do I want to talk about baby formula? I want to talk about baby formula because the negative effects of baby formula on the human body are underrated. I want to say that it really screws up a baby, all in the name of these, having these women go back to work quick. That's what baby formula is all about. It's about women competing with men. So let's think about baby formula for a second, right? Let's imagine a scenario where instead of humans being the dominant species on the planet, let's imagine that bears are the dominant species, right? That they're smarter than us, not only stronger than us, but smarter than us, and that they rule the earth, they rule the planet. So let's take a scenario where the bears can entrap us, right? They can especially entrap our women, right? They're strong enough, they're smart enough, they're faster than us, and they rule the planet. So they trap women, right? And they use women not just to consume their flesh, but also for their milk, right? And what the bears do is they grab these women and they put them in rows, and they inject them with hormones, so they think they're pregnant all the time. So their bodies are tricked into thinking that they're pregnant all the time, so that they produce milk, right? Much in the same way in which cow's milk is produced nowadays. But this is bears doing it to us. And so, now we have the bears, they install artificial nipples on the women's breasts, and these women are producing milk 8 hours a day, or say 10 hours a day, right? Every day, they're strapped to a chair, and they're injected, and they have to just sit there and maybe watch some videos or whatever, I don't know. But the point is that these women are producing milk, and they are the slaves of the bears, right? And since they're stronger than us, they're consuming us men too for the flesh, right? It depends on the bears. Like, what do they like most? Do they like the body fat content of a woman, or do they like the muscle density of a man? So it depends. There's a big argument, right, as to what kind of bear likes what kind of human food. And so, but getting back to the topic of baby formula, right? So they grab this milk and they put it into big containers, and then they dry it up, and then they turn it into powder, right? They turn it into powder, and then they add artificial vitamins and minerals, things that were created in a laboratory, right? And they put it in a can, and they put it up for sale. They market it as it having all the nutrients that a baby bear needs for proper development, right? And that's how it's done, right? But the women, the female bears, the female bear wants the power of the male bear. She wants to be able to make it big in the corporate world. She wants power. She's thirsty for power, and she finds no other way to compete with the papa bear And so in comes baby formula, this powder that allows her to jump into the bear workforce, right? It allows her to jump into the workforce and compete with the bear, with the papa bear. And that's what baby formula is all about. That's what human women are doing to the detriment of their baby's health. There have been many cases in which children have even died because these formula producing companies have failed to put the nutrients in the cans that they say they put in there. There is really no substitute for human milk, right? We're mammals, and we are the only animals, biologically speaking, we're all animals, and we're the only animals that are doing this stupidity, right? That we are the animals that are consuming the only mammals that are consuming the milk of other mammals in large quantities. It's ridiculous. It's a cross species experiment that is failed. It's a failure from the get-go. Baby formula is a sham. It's one of those falsehoods brought about by feminism, much like makeup or high heels. And so I say, down with baby formula. I say it's time for us to respect the animals that inhabit the earth with us. And one way also to keep these women in check is to make sure that this powder that they're feeding to kids, making them colicky or whatever, right? Well, they clog up the baby's intestines, right? Because human intestines are not designed to absorb this milk, to digest this cow's milk. Cow's milk is a mixture of nutrients that is very different from human milk. Yeah, there are some vitamins in it, but the vitamins that are in cow's milk are for baby cows. And that is what the baby cows need. So it's one way for us to keep these women in check, to set things straight, to get away from this falsehood that we call feminism. It's no coincidence that feminism and the consumption of large quantities of cow's milk, and as well, in the form of powder, right? Like in the case of baby formula, go hand in hand. Same way with the fantasy food that they sell in the frozen aisle at the supermarkets, the so-called supermarket, which is really a place in which food has disappeared. They call it a supermarket because of all the departments that were in there, right? People used to go to the butcher, then they used to go to the cheese shop, then they used to go to the baker, and then they used to go to the produce guy or whatever. It was mostly women doing the shopping, right? Because it was the easier thing to do. They were the home managers, while men were out there working in the fields or whatever. But then along came the idea of a supermarket, an indoor food marketplace. But that turned out to be another sham as well. I may do a video about that later on. But anyways, baby formula, right? One of the most stolen items in the United States every year. It makes the top 10 list of stolen items in the US every year. And I say, for what? For what? To sicken our babies, right? So she can run back to the workplace because she's too lazy to breastfeed. She doesn't want to do it. And then there are so-called nursery coaches, women who supposedly show other women that they make it their job to show other women, to coach other women into breastfeeding, right? What a load of bullshit. What a load of fucking bullshit. And they make this a full-time job. A nursery coach. It's a real job out there. Unbelievable. And this is all because women don't want to take the responsibility, or they don't want to assume the responsibility of having to breastfeed their kids. They want to overcomplicate things, right? Talking about nursery coach like it's something you have to learn how to do. Like there's an animal out there in the wild that, you know, just doesn't know how to suck from their mother's breast, and it'll starve because of that. It's something complicated to learn or whatever, right? So they have these nursery coaches come in to their homes, right? So that the husband can see that you know, hey, it's actually rocket science breastfeeding a baby, right? I have to learn how to do it, right? And I don't want to take the time to learn, you know? It's so much easier with the baby formula, right? And so the husband, what's a husband to do, right? He can't force her into breastfeeding. But it's all a trick. It's all a trick. The whole baby formula industry is a trick. From the nursery coaches to the companies that produce milk to the people that steal it, you know, the junkies that steal it. They specialize in stealing that stuff. There's a reason why they have it next to cigarettes at the customer service department in a supermarket. It's because you don't need it. You don't need it, but people steal it, so they have to put it behind the counter, right? They have to lock it up, right? That and makeup. Makeup is another one of those items that, or list of items that makes the top 10 list of the most stolen items in the United States every year. And you have to ask, who is stealing these things? Who is stealing the makeup? Who is stealing the baby formula? Do men need baby formula? Do men use makeup in such large quantities? And what's sad is that there are men out there, believe it or not, who know a lot more about makeup than women do. I met a guy who was a professional clown, right? And he said that most of that stuff, I was having a conversation with him one time, and he said that most of that stuff that women get from the supermarket or from the aisle at the pharmacy is junk. It's cheap, chemically laden powder that clogs up their pores, and over time, if not very quickly, destroys their skin. That is much better things to be had from other places. But who cares? You know, women are not about learning any of that. The ins and out of, you know, what makeup is composed of, you know, it's almost irrelevant for most of them. And the truth is that many men don't care about that. They don't care about the makeup, but they keep doing it all anyways. And the reason why they do it is because makeup is for other women. It's to show their status. that they can just throw additional things on their face. Who does it best, right? But yeah. So, baby formula. It's another one of those feminist masks. And what's interesting is that we would have never found any of this had it not been for the computer. See? Because women are so secretive. They hold those secrets very dear. Right? Very dearly. They hold those secrets. So what allows them to give them, to get power over men, to gain power over men. The last thing that allowed women to join the workforce and to compete with a man, right? Shamelessly compete with a man, and I do mean shamelessly, and the reason why I say shamelessly is because of this. The last thing that allowed women to compete with a man in the workforce was the invention of the pad, or the tampons, as we know them today. Piece of rag with the absorbent material embedded in it, and the deodorant, right? Sometimes they use deodorant in those things. This is how they were able to make it to the workforce. So I don't want to hear that women could always be as good as a man, and they could always do everything that a man could, because for a very long time they didn't. They couldn't do it. They took these inventions brought about by men, right, at their request, so that they could compete with us. Now, should they keep their pads? Should women be allowed to keep their raggedy pads? I say that's up to them. Some of you may have different views, but when it comes to baby formula, I think we're shortchanging ourselves. We are putting in jeopardy the health and proper development of the human species as a whole. Perhaps that's one of the reasons why there's so many chronic metabolic diseases nowadays that people are suffering from, because they don't have a proper start in life, nutritionally speaking. They start out with baby formula and they move up to Pop-Tarts and cold cereal. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.